Making chicken korma in a pot. I just have some chicken. I put some water and I'm going to bring it to a boil for about 5 or 10 minutes. You want to see like a little layer of impurities form on the top, the scum. We're going to drain that out. And this is half of a whole chicken. One whole chicken is usually about 16 pieces, and this is about 8 pieces for half. Into the pot, we also want to add about 4 teaspoons of salt. You want to add the salt so the salt can kind of penetrate through the skin, and the inside will be marinated with the salt, and it'll stay juicy and tender. You kind of can see the scum floating at the top right now. You just want it to remove all the impurities, and then we're going to take the chicken out, wash it. Now at this stage, you just want to remove it off the heat, take out the chicken, and drain all of this water. So I just washed the chicken, emptied the water out, and now I have 1 onion sliced, and in a large saucepan I have 1/4 of a cup of oil, and I'm heating it to medium-high heat. I'm going to add my onions in and lightly brown them. Once the onions are about this browned, it'll take about, let's see, about 10-15 minutes depending on how high your heat is. We're going to add 1/2 cup of pureed tomatoes. I use the 28-ounce can of whole peeled tomatoes and then use an immersion blender to puree it. And now we're just going to mix this until it's well combined. So we're just going to take this off the heat. We're going to use an immersion blender to blend all of this together. I'm using the Cuisinart immersion blender, and it comes with this little container. So to this, I'm going to add 1/2 cup of yogurt. I added the tomato onion mixture. I'm just going to use the blender to blend it up. So you just want to blend it all up until it's a nice uniform puree. And then to that, I'm going to add 1/2 tablespoon of minced ginger and 1/2 tablespoon of ginger paste or ginger puree. You can also use fresh ginger if you have, and then now I'm going to puree this all up. I'm also going to add 1/2 cup of water. Once it's all pureed, you just want to add it back to the same pot. Now to this, we're going to add our Korma spice seasoning. This is a special Aziz Asian cuisine blend. And I added 2 tablespoons and 1/2 teaspoon of oil. Now we're just going to mix all of this together and cook on medium-high heat until it's thickened. After about 10 minutes, this is going to be how it looks like. Make sure you do cover the pot because it will, like, you know, like you see it popping all over the place. Like I just took off the top and it kind of like exploded everywhere. I'm going to take it off the heat just so you guys can see the thickness on how it is. You basically want a little. Now at this stage, you want to add the chicken into it, and then we're just going to coat it all the way. We're going to cook it again so the chicken cooks all the way through and it becomes a little bit more thickened, which will probably take about 35 to 45 minutes depending on how high you keep your stove on. Also want to add 2 cups of water. And then once the water is added, we're going to mix it well. You want a vessel sounds weird. You want some liquid so the chicken can cook and simmer in it on a very low heat and slowly cook. We're going to turn the heat down to medium-low, cover, and then every so often you do want to take the top off and stir it just to make sure that it's cooking properly and it's not sticking to the bottom. And this is how it's going to look. It's about an hour of cooking time. Listen, baby.